Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trimmed with blue, official weight 112.5 kilos. His professional record, an excellent one. 30 victories, including 24 knockouts, with 4 defeats and 3 draws. From Logan, Queensland, Australia, the challenger, the Australian heavyweight champion and Asia Pacific heavyweight champion, the Samoan fighting pride of Australia, Alex the Lionheart Leapai. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing red with gold, official weight 112.2 kilos. His professional record stands at 61 victories, including 52 knockouts, with 3 defeats, and he is undefeated during his 10-year rule as the heavyweight champion of the world. From Kiev, Ukraine, 3-time world champion, the reigning, defending, universally recognized, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Dr. Steel Hammer, Wladimir Clitschko.
All right, boxers, you both received my instructions in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands. Protect yourself at all times. Let's touch gloves. I expect a good, clean fight. Let's touch gloves. Let's touch them.
Leapai has done a very good job of turning the conversation and debate in these parts around from what round is he going to get obliterated in by the vastly more experienced world champion to what if. Richie Woodall, what if? Can he do it? Has he got the potential to do it? Has he got a big enough punch to do it?
Well, he's got a puncher's chance, no question about that. 24 knockouts in the 30 victories, but it's a tall order.
The referee is going to play a very key role in this, Richie. We saw in the fight with Povetkin the referee's inability to get in and actually stop Klitschko from holding on. Now, Leapai has promised to come out and start throwing right from the off. He expects Klitschko to come at him early as well. But how is he going to get under that ramrod jab?
Well, he's got to have fast head movement, and his feet have got to play a part here. Quick feet into that inside position, and then whip that right hand over the top. He calls it Samoan bolo shot, isn't it, or something like that? Yeah. But it's just a right hand over the top, and he's got a good chance of throwing that, but it's got to be with fast head movement and fast feet into that inside position, and then just whip it over.
Get up, back up, back up, back up.
And I think Klitschko will be vulnerable early on in this contest. First 3 or 4 rounds, most certainly.
Well, there's plenty of been lining up to say that he's got to push the envelope here, Leapai, with the referee. But he's got to watch out for his balance. We've seen it on a number of times when he's been in the ring. The amount of power that he puts into this huge overhand right. Well, he's going to count that as a knockdown. Eddie Cotton is looking. He was unsure. He was caught then, was he, by a right hand? It looked very, very soft if he was. And Leapai looks frustrated with himself. But it's already 1 knockdown.
See, Leapai's got to watch out for that left hook as well from Klitschko. He's using the jab. He holds the centre of the ring very well, Klitschko, and that's the shot that Leapai's got to throw. But he's got to try and force the taller man back onto the ropes, because when he's boxing from centre, he's very difficult to get to.
Yeah, they likened this to the night that David Tua came in and fought Lennox Lewis. He had massive physical disadvantages there with height and reach.
Stop.
Still a tough night for Lewis, but Tua still couldn't land that huge right hand of his. Great atmosphere as ever, every time Klitschko gets in the ring here. Huge amounts of support. Well, he's practiced for weeks, he said, keeping his arm pressed on his temple to try and block out the jab, but he's not getting out the way of that right hand.
Oh, he's a sitting duck here. These are bad tactics from Leapai early on. He's got flat feet, there's no head movement, he's in the centre of the ring, and those straight shots from Wladimir, he can't miss the target.
He's taken some good shots from the likes of Travis Walker, although Travis Walker is in a completely different galaxy to Wladimir Klitschko in terms of punching power. But he does take shots. Boitsov caught him with a few good shots as well at the end of the first round. And he got lost a little bit there, did Leapai.
You not got the knockdown? Okay.
Welcome back, but they're talking in the corner about whether or not that is going to be counted as a knockdown there. It was, I think the referee was unsure, and it's not been decided, I don't think, but here it comes.
This was actually some other action from the round. Klitschko dominated the round. I thought Leapai came out quite quickly in the first minute or so, but then sort of slipped back a little bit and Klitschko took over.
And his coach, Dan Chusner, said he's in the best physical and mental state he's ever known him to be in. But he's had a round to get used to his surroundings. He's now got to do something to let Klitschko know that he is in there. But there's too much distance in between them, isn't there, Richie? And it's easy for Klitschko to pick him off here.
Well, he's very good, isn't he, Klitschko, at keeping his distance. And you see him on the outside there. He doesn't move back to the ropes. He actually moves around his opponent because he prefers the space of the ring, you see, and so he can see his opponent coming. That's a little bit better from Leapai. But again, Klitschko back to the centre. He's in control again.
He knows, Leapai, the importance of getting in and trying to work to Klitschko's body. That was again part of his game plan here, but he so far hasn't landed a single shot on the body because he's not been anywhere near close enough to get one.
And that's what he cannot afford to do, Tim. Just stand there at distance, just taking shots like that. Klitschko will eventually break him down.
But he said, when I get it, I get mad. He must be steaming in there now. And that again is another straight right hand.
They're hurtful jabs also. There's power in those jabs. You see Leapai, he's just a sitting duck. He's got to up the tempo and try and put Klitschko under pressure, but it's easier said than done.
Well, there have been times in his career when he's run out of gas in the third and fourth round. He's been living the life of a pro for the last 16 weeks only in a full-time training camp. But this is just target practice at the moment here for Klitschko.
Yeah, the only chance that Leapai has got here is if, at these early stages anyway, is if Klitschko gets complacent, takes things for granted, takes too many risks, but he doesn't take the risk. This is the problem with Klitschko. He's so safety conscious. He hits and moves and maintains the gap at all times. He's done it bout after bout, fight after fight. Long distance, long range boxing.
This is a harsh dose of reality here. In truth, he's probably had a more difficult time during sparring than he's had here at the moment.
You see, this is why, Tim, that the head movement from Leapai is crucial. Well, it's non-existent, but it's crucial when you've got a jab coming at you with speed and thrown with accuracy from Klitschko. You've got to move the head and try and avoid that shot. He's just taking every shot he's hitting. Look, it's just too easy.
Referees getting Eddie Cotton getting in there quite quick. It would have been good to see him allow a bit of infighting there, maybe for Leapai to try and actually get some work done. But he has barely thrown a punch as we come to the end of the second round here. You can see just how frustrated he is as he makes his way back to the corner, Leapai. The backs in the corner, let's go to listen.
Good movement. Every time you circle that left, break on him. Left hook, right hand, right back with a jab. Your speed is too much for him. He can handle your speed. When you got a guy you faster than, use your speed against him.
Well, so far, it looks as if his pre-fight prediction bank said, I don't think he's going to know what to do on the opening of the bell. It'll be like, I'm here in the casino, I haven't got any money, but I'm just going to see what I can do. He's got no strategy, no plan. All he says is, I want to win and I'm going to hit you. And so far, That is exactly how it's played out here.
Well, Klitschko is so dominant with his jab. This is the problem that Leapai has got. He just can't get past that shot. And then you've got that strong, long right hand to contend with also. But it's the movement from Klitschko, which is also impressive. Everything from centre ring, moves around his opponent. And he's probably had harder spars.
Plenty have been queuing up to give him advice, Leapai, this week, including Lamont Brewster, who was the last man to drop him.
Well, it's just a matter of time, this is Tim, how much this fella can take, Leapai.
Well, it was built up to be something in the last few days, but it is turning out to be nothing, really. Well, he's taken a good shot and he's calling him on. And it is almost like a carbon copy of that fight that he had with Travis Walker. He was getting beaten all over the place, and then he exploded into life. He landed one big shot, and that is what everybody's waiting for here, just to see if Leapai can get in there and land this Samoan bowler.
Well, the only chance he's got of landing that shot is that when Klitschko actually lands the jab, but half the time you see Klitschko is moving away. He's not moving on to the shot. So it's difficult to land the bolo if your opponent's moving away. Look, there's an example. He's just moving away from it, and you're never going to hit the target. You've got to try and draw your man onto that shot. And this is why Klitschko is so good in that he boxes safety, boxes to his strength. And he must be a...
motivated man in front of him who has nothing to lose. The threat will remain until he's either on his back, he's out of the ring, or the fight's over. He's trying to walk him down, Richie, but he's getting stopped in his tracks, isn't he? Tries to go with the uppercut then, but it's all a little bit ugly.
Well, he's getting worn down, isn't he, by that jab. It's all right, his corner saying you've got to walk him down, but you need head movement, you need faster feet. And the more shots he's taking, like I said, that jab of Klitschko is a real hard shot. So he's just basically just dismantling his opponent here, bit by bit. Sometimes you get frustrated with Klitschko. You want him just to step it up a little bit, but he boxes to his pace. He dictates things, and that's why this fella has lasted as long as he has.
Just over half a minute left in the fourth round here. And again, wildly off target from Leapai. Another right hand, and again Leapai calls him back.
I mean, all credit to Leapai. He looks like, yeah, he's took a lot of hard shots, and again, terrific straight right hand from Klitschko. But it's all long-range work. I've often Klitschko, one of the best long-range boxers in the game, but at short range, he's quite poor because he just grabs and holds and then pushes his opponent off again.
Yeah, it's only George Foreman was saying this week that every puncher believes he's going to be the one that's going to put one on Klitschko's jaw, but few realise just what a good boxer he really is.
He ain't going to know what to do.
The personification of calm and in control. Let's listen to Jonathan Banks.
Все хорошо идет. Пофинтуй. Покажи одно, он ведется на все финты. И хорошо, у тебя пару раз было. На боковой переводи.
His skills, of course, alongside Manny Stewart and Jonathan Banks. And again, the message we heard from Leapai's corner, once again, it was the same as it was. You've got to walk him down, you've got to cut the ring off, and you've got to get in close, and you've got to try and work him to the body. It's the same simple set of instructions at the end of every round.
Yeah, I agree with all that, what they've said, but you've got to avoid what's coming at you at the same time. And this is what he's not doing, look. He's just standing there, taking these shots. This is when the head movement has got to come into play, and then counter off that head movement, make him miss, and then try and land that big shot over the top or work his body. I mean, the Samoans are tough guys. Remember David Tua? He was a really hard fella. Never stopped in 59 contests.
Trying to tempt him out of retirement at the moment to take part in a Super 7 over in New Zealand. But again, these physical advantages which Klitschko enjoys over his opponent here are just too big a gap bridge.
That's the one.
That wobbled the legs a little bit, and maybe that's going to be the moment. Now Klitschko comes back, lands a big right hand of his own, but that was him getting stung into life there, because for the first time, Leapai landed one on him.
Oh, he's taken two big right hands there.
Huge right hand, and Leapai is down. Is he out? Is he going to be able to get up? Eddie Cotton's over him. He looks okay. Does he know where he is, what day of the week it is? What a round, round 5, it's exploded into life. What a response here from Wladimir Klitschko, and he's finished, isn't he? Leapai should be over, he's down for a second time, and he is surely out now. He looks at his corner. This tremendously proud Samoan, it is over.
Yeah,
another successful defence, but we had a moment in there which will certainly have salivating sat back in the studio.
Well, that's the type of punch that he needed to throw. It was that bolo right hand over the top that nearly connected. It was inches away, but that sort of sparked Klitschko into landing a couple of big right hands of his own. And it's the difference in class, you see, because the quality and the accuracy was from Klitschko. When he let his right hand go nice and straight, direct to the target, bang, it hits home and he put his man down.
The big question that you know, not any casual fight fans want to know is, why do we have to wait, or why does he wait until moments like that? Why doesn't he come out and do that, get him out and go home early?
Well, yeah, but that was a terrific 1-2 combination there from Klitschko, but that sort of sparked him into throwing that shot through that right hand that Leapai tried to land. But these were quality punches from Klitschko that finished the job off. It's the accuracy, the timing and the power was all there. And we said a few rounds ago, didn't we, that it was just a matter of time before this fella eventually crumbled. Hard shots from Klitschko. There's that long left hook, and then he finishes with the right hand. That's the second knockdown that finished it.
That was it. So there was to be no roar on the roar from the Lionheart, Alex Leapai. But we might get a look at that punch that very nearly landed, that just did wobble Klitschko, and it will further enhance the view that if you can get somebody in there who is of the same physical makeup and build as he is, then he's going to give him a problem.
I said, didn't I, it's about... With Klitschko, he could get complacent, he could take things for granted, and he just let his guard slip a little bit there, lapse in concentration, and it almost connected. It was that great right hand over the top, but it didn't quite him. I think he was more startled about the shot himself, Klitschko. I don't think it wobbled him, to be quite honest, but there was a sign there that that's the shot that Leapai needed to try and land. But what followed that then was just pure class then from Klitschko. Terrific shots.
So the big upset then was not to be. Whatever motivation he said about Klitschko, he said he's going to have to rip my heart out to win this fight. And I think he did just about break him. There was no chance. And you could tell pretty much right from the opening bell.
Yeah, another good display from Klitschko. Didn't take any risks at all, did he?
You know, one of the things that really did wind him up and his cap up this week, one of the big American TV networks was previewing this fight, and apparently they spent, well, about 3.5 minutes discussing this, and the rest of the hour talking about the next set of opponents that he was going to have throughout the next 18 months.
Well, let's hope one of those next opponents is someone like Tyson Fury, who I think will give him all sorts of trouble. Tyson Fury is 6'9", he's big, strong, powerful man, and he's also a good boxer, and that would be a different challenge, a different obstacle for Klitschko to get over.
But he's 38 years of age now. You know you're going to get 2 fights out of him a year over maybe the next couple of years. There's talk about reunification with or unification bout. Is fighting in a couple of weeks' time, and he wants to take the belt that his brother's given up. Of course, he's retired, so that presumably would take that into maybe an October-November fight, and he's in a position where he can just pick and choose.
Well, also, you know, we have Tyson Fury versus Derek Chisora, July 26th. That's going to be a cracking bout. The winner of that then may have a shot at Wladimir. There's Bermain Stavern against Chris Arreola. That's going to fight for the WBC title on May the 10th. So, yeah, there's good fights out there to be made. I think the British lads are definitely in the mix. This guy, you know, he can't keep going on forever. He's 38 years of age. He's still boxing tremendously well, but we listened to what Tyson Fury said in the studio earlier, and it's going to be a much younger man that's going to come and take the title. And you have to agree with that, because at the end of the day, he can't keep going on and on and on.
People will criticise the opponent here tonight, but again, remember, this was a mandatory defence against a mandatory challenger, so he can only go in there and beat whoever is put in front of him.
Exactly. You know, at the end of the day, he doesn't pick the opponents if it's a mandatory. The governing body does, and Alex Leapai had a great victory against Denis Boytsov.
Yeah.
Got him the shot. Up until then, though, he hadn't really boxed anyone of world class. And it showed in there tonight, because he had the will, but certainly didn't have the way. He didn't have the skills to get around Klitschko, didn't have that head movement. It was only a matter of time, but you have to say it was an impressive finish.
Yeah, huge amount of self-belief from Alex Leapai coming here. It reminds you of that great quote from Joe Frazier when he was talking about one of his opponents. He said his mouth made him feel like he was going to win the fight, not his hands. I had my hands, my fists and my punches. He had his lips.
Fantastic, yeah. But this guy just keeps going on. What is it, 10 years now since he was last beaten against Lamont Brewster?
But people are going to go back to this, the boxing press, the boxing media, the trainers, the potential challengers. The one thing they're going to pick out of this fight isn't the 2 knockdowns that it is going to be that one moment where he landed that punch, albeit fleetingly. It wasn't a firm connection, and they're going to say, there it is, there's the weakness. We've just got to find a way of getting in there.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tim, but I think also you've got to set a higher pace against Klitschko. He's the one who dictates things. He's very clever at that. His ring position is fantastic, holds the centre of the ring. You've got to put him under pressure. There are faults with him, but you've got to expose them and pressure box him most certainly. Then I think he could come undone a little bit, but when he's boxing from the centre of the ring, boxing at his own pace, dictating things, he's totally in control. When he's boxing at long range, he's literally unbeatable. You've got to force him into those short and mid-range areas where he's got to work, where he doesn't want to work, basically.
So it's complete opposite to what we saw when we were doing the Povetkin fight last, where Povetkin did manage to get in and cut the ring down, but he spent most of his time in an arm lock.
Well, yeah, you know, I think it was a bad refereeing performance there also, but Povetkin failed on the inside. There was loads of opportunities for Povetkin to work, but he didn't take them. Let's get it right. It wasn't totally holding by Klitschko. Povetkin could have worked on the inside, but he didn't. But a shocking performance from the referee also, I thought.
Well, he said he wants to fight on for another decade. We're just going to wait to see if we can get an interview here. A few words from the man, Wladimir Klitschko. I think
ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes and 5 seconds of round number 5, referee Eddie Cotton waves off the count following the second knockdown of that round and calls this fight the winner by knockout victory and still recognized as the universal undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Wladimir Dr. Steel Hammer Klitschko.
So many people have got a recipe for his undoing, yet nobody has yet managed to get close. And their pre-fight predictions turned out to be right. Jonathan Banks saying he simply won't know what to do at the opening of the bell. I mean, he walked across that ring with a degree of intent, but as soon as the movement began, as soon as Klitschko got into that groove and kept him at the end of that jab, it's like, I think it was his assistant, James Leapai, said, apart from money, the only thing he's going to earn here is a beating, and that is exactly it.
Good performance from Klitschko, all long range, did what he wanted to do, wasn't really putting under any pressure. Routine defence. Someone's got to step up to the plate and put a bit of pressure on this guy. If not, this fellow will rain on and on.
Where does he stand in the pantheon of great heavyweight champions? I mean, you can't blame him for the era that he's in.
No, you can't blame him for the year he was in, but I still don't think you can really put him up there with the Alis of this world, because they had other great fighters in the division, like your Frasers, your Foremans, your Ken Nortons. They were all great champions in their own right also. But, you know, listen, this fella is a tremendous champion. Let's get it right. 25th world title fight tonight. He's reigned now for 10 years in his second reign as champion. He is, I think, exceptional physically and mentally.
Bei Wladimir Klitschko, der jetzt gerade noch die Gürtel trägt, und ich glaube, zunächst mal, der Bruder hilft. Das ist gut. Ich kann auch einen nehmen zur Not, aber ich glaube, wir kriegen das jetzt. Zunächst was dem Publikum mitteilen will, oder?
So let's see if we can hear what he's got to say here. So good evening to everybody, and thank you all for coming. Great atmosphere inside this arena here tonight. Thank you very much for your great support once again. All of the Ukrainian people that have come out here to support me tonight. Again, it's been a great pleasure to be here and to perform for you. It's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy. There are no easy opponents. With a lot of things that are going on outside the ring, in my homeland, sometimes my head wasn't quite here in the training camp. I hope that the political situation will be stabilized. I hope Ukraine can stay as it is, and that Ukraine does not fall apart.
Und ich möchte mich bedanken hier in Deutschland. Deutschland und die Fans in Deutschland sind einmal. Vielen, vielen Dank für euch. Dankeschön.
All of the people who stood up for the rights of the people in Ukraine, they deserve our support and our thanks.
War sehr selbstbewusst. Wollte es wissen, wollte haben diese Weltmeistergürtel. Hatte davon geträumt. Ist wirklich eine Geschichte der Rocky aus Australien. Ich wünsche ihm alles Gute, danke für die Leistung. Ich weiß, es war nicht leicht, aber du bist in dem besten Mann, der im Ring stand. Und du hast alles gegeben. Thank you very much for all the performance. Thank you very much. And good luck in you.
And again, Leapai, very, very emotional indeed. You gave everything that you had, and thank you very much for coming here and putting on the show that you did.
Sie haben ja gerade Ihren Respekt vor Alex Leapai ausgedrückt. Haben Sie trotzdem erwartet, dass er mehr versuchen wird, mehr Gegenwehr leisten wird, weil da war nicht viel zu sehen von ihm.
More than just a professional respect.
Ich muss auch sagen, dass
did you expect a little more from him when the bell rang for the round one?
38 Jahren. Und ich glaube, ich weiß nicht, ob ich beim nächsten Mal das wiederholen kann.
Yeah, I knew that this was going to be a difficult fight. You know, I've come up against good people. There are always good people. I feel really good at the moment about myself, and I was happy with my performance.
Kopf frei zu kriegen hier im Ring.
Talking about how did you get your head clear with what's going on at home in the ring here tonight. It wasn't easy. I always concentrate when I'm in the ring. It's not an issue for me.
Ganz selten gesehen. Deswegen freue ich mich auf meinen Bruder, dass wieder in der Ringecke steht und mich unterstützt.
My brother, just going back to mention his brother. My brother and I are united in our beliefs. When we get in the ring, we are concentrated on the job in hand.
Wenn man aber die Hymne hört und die Schwägerin singt sie, Natalia, ist es noch was Besonderes?
We're talking about Natalia's performance, singing the national anthem. How special was that?
Mit dem Sound, aber habt unterstützt. Natalie war sehr nervös, aber habt das gemacht, wie sie das trotzdem schafft, und am Ende hat es so geklappt.
It wasn't that good at the beginning, but in the end, it was great.
Obwohl erst das Mikrofon nicht funktioniert hat. Also eine rundum gelungene Leistung der Familie Klitschko. Gratulation nochmal. Wladimir Klitschko, meine Damen und Herren.
Again, just congratulating Klitschko.
Und natürlich wollen wir auch den
Richie, your final thoughts here.
My final thoughts are a good performance from Wladimir Klitschko. You know, it's not his fault. He's beaten what's been put in front of him. But Leapai, like so many, has failed He couldn't get around that big long jab. But what an excellent performance from you in terms of that. That was great. You should have been a German teacher.
Again tonight.
Let's hear from Leapai.
Why couldn't you avoid the jab?
Mate, it's just a different Wladimir tonight, you know. And look, like I said, that's why he's the champion, you know. It's just a supreme fighter.
What was the fight plan, actually?
Well, you know, we tried to get inside, but Wladimir just kept sticking the jab out, and you know, look, it just didn't work tonight. But we just got to go back to the gym and just keep going.
There's always a climax to get the opportunity to fight for the World Championship. So, what will the future bring for you in boxing now?
Mate, it's not the end of the line, Hart. I just got to go back to the drawing board and just keep working on a few things. But I'll be back. I'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Wladimir Klitschko, and good luck to Vitaly and Wladimir with Ukraine, and peace to Ukraine. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also, Dankeschön an Alex Leapai soweit. Und ich hoffe mal, es geht nicht.
And he's now, Richie, let's not forget, he's a known quantity in the boxing world, which 6 months ago, before Boitsov, he wasn't.